Welcome to the Emerging Lawyer series at the Coffee Conversation Show powered by the Emerging India Forum TIF and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is From Courtrooms to Carbon Credits, the multifaceted life of Arjit Adval. He is Group Legal Counsel at Mati Carbon India Private Limited. From handling mergers and acquisitions to decoding carbon credits legality across geographies like Tanzania, US, Indonesia, and now India, Arjit is redefining what it means to be a modern day legal advisor. With over 7 years of navigating corporate law, international governance, and high stakes contract negotiation, he has mastered the art of aligning legal nuance with business strategy. His journey from the courtroom corridors at Chadda and Company to AZBN Partners to boardroom of globally linked enterprises is packed with lessons on growth, adaptability, and grit. Join us as we talk about the laws behind the transformative business, cross border challenges, and the personal compass that keeps him grounded. So, welcome Arjit to today's coffee conversation.
Thank you, Mr. Virani. Lovely being here and good to have a chat about some important topics, I guess.
Yeah. So, let me explain you. There will be three rounds: professional journey, personal journey, and a surprise, the rapid fire round, where we'll be in the hot seat. And years of inspiration, legal AI 101. But you have to be witty, fun, quick, and then it will be autographed and sent to you.
Try my
So,
level best. Thank you.
let's begin. Friends, I'm
Yeah.
Lion Amir Virani, host at Coffee Corner, legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution, author of 15 books. We help law firms, corporate legal, startup, with world-class technology, software licensing, and tech training solution. So, Archit, how was the journey shaped up, and what were the key defining moments you had?
So the journey so far has come from sitting in law firms to now in-house counsels behind the boardroom. So it is a shift from courtrooms to, I would say, boardrooms, what you clearly said. So that shift has been very, I would say, rewarding, at the same time very fast paced. So when we talk about law firms, there's always this rush of getting the client's perspective, undertaking the first approach for what would benefit the client. But when you talk about the boardrooms, that shift happened because of the fact that we have been consumers of various brands, various products, but we never know what lies behind the action. When you say behind the scenes, wala thing, so how do things happen behind it? So one day we see that Maggie has come into the picture of lead. Uh, uh, there's an allegation that there is lead component which is high in nature. Then how does the marketing team, how does the legal team dwell upon it, how does it come into back into the sector? So all these things are something which fascinated particularly me, and therefore I wanted to get behind the scenes, work around with board teams, work around with the biggest minds in the industry. And that is how this shift was there.
Wow. Okay, let's dive deep into conversation, Arjit. How do
Yeah.
you balance legal accuracy with business pragmatism, especially when advising cross-border deals?
Okay. So legal accuracy and business pragmatism is something that you have to strike the right balance. It's basically the sweet spot which is never hit. So when I talk about it, so see, legal accuracy from a lawyer's perspective is always non-negotiable. You have to be accurate. You have to hit the right spot. You have to hit the right nerve for the business to take decisions. But at the same time, it is very important for lawyers to understand that your legal knowledge is of no use if it is too rigid to be applied, right? It should be easy for the business to apply it and use it for their perspective. Uh, I'll just give you a quick example so that viewers can also understand this. So it's basically like you can say things can happen like this way. This is the way to do things. But the business can come up and say, this is not how we function. So, how do you tailor make your legal knowledge, your accuracy, your legal acumen to suit your business seat is what makes you a good lawyer altogether. So that is basically how I deal with it. And cross-border deals, I would say these are I would say, a pain in the head of every lawyer, because you have to deal with multiple jurisdiction, you have to deal a lot of different laws. But the basic concept remains the same, which is to understand what is the requirement of this deal and what your company or your business requires you to do. So if you are matching those parameters, basically you're good to go.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
My next question will be, what's your approach to contract negotiation, especially when it's a mix of legal tightropes and business pressure?
Uh, okay. This is something, to be very honest, everyday deal of a in-house counsel, because you can be two things. Either you can be called a bottleneck, um, wherein you are stopping the business to deal with their stuff, or either you can be called the founder's person, wherein you are enabler to the business, wherein you enable them to function smoothly. So out of these two things, there is only one which you can obtain. So my basic uh, funda, how I deal with my daily in-house counsel role, and especially negotiations, is that I try to fix upon what is a real priority that you're seeking out of a contract. So something that is non-negotiable for the business, and something at the same time which is flexible, and I can adjust with the client uh, accordingly. So I need to be very much clear as to what I want from a contract. Now, a lot many business deals get stuck in the mid, because what the lawyer wants is a winning clause. I should be the person who wins this deal, right? But when you're from that thought process, you're not able to crack a deal. You're trying to put yourself first, and you're not able to maintain a relation with the client. So, how I deal with it is that I get what the business wants. I get what my particular party which I'm representing wants, and also the other person gets a bit of what they want. So basically, it makes both the parties happy at the same time.
Wow. Okay. So let's go memory down the lane. What's been the most challenging or interesting transaction or project you have worked on that
Mm.
taught you a key professional lesson?
Okay, not many, but so there's one negotiation. I would not put up names here, but
Yeah.
in general
We
sense,
just we just need merits of the case.
so yeah, so merits are very simple. So what happens is that it was a long-term negotiation which happened for 6-7 months that we continued. We were not able to crack up a deal. Instead of using all the mechanism, all the tricks that I had up my sleeves, all were thrown on the board. Uh, but when two legal teams try to deal with something, there's always a clash, because one team thinks that they are doing the best, and the other thinks that they are doing the best. But what the outcome was, this is like after 6-7 months, what we understood is that this deal is not going to come through the way that what we are trying to achieve it. So we need to change our strategy. So how we change our strategy is we try to bypass the particular aspect, which was a crucial IP clause, and we try to approach directly the person who was handling this work for us. And we did a direct contract with that person, removed the entity in the mid. So once we remove the entity in the mid, automatically the legal team gets removed. So there's no legal complications. So within a span of like 2 days, we settled up the IP clause with the individual, set up a contract for him, and he's doing the work flawlessly right now. So at times you need to think out of the box to get deals done. That's how.
Wow. So, Arjit, you've been fortunate to work in legal matters in different jurisdictions like
Yeah.
Africa, US, APAC, Indonesia. Uh, how did this come about and how has experience been?
Uh, see, the contract law, or from a contractual perspective, all these jurisdictions have everything in common. Basically, it's a common law wherein we deal with a lot of things which are common in um, with regards to the boilerplate clauses, with regards to the indemnity, with regards to the damages, liability clause. So there's not much of trouble when you come to contracts negotiation. The only point which becomes a discussion point is the governing law and the dispute resolution clause which you put up. So one party says that because it's my jurisdiction, I want the courts in my jurisdiction to have the ability to take up cases. So it's basically a way wherein you can settle up on a common place of law for arbitration. Basically, people in nowadays use SIAC, which is Singapore Arbitration International Arbitration. So that is one which is a to-go thing for all the multiple jurisdiction contracts that we deal with. So I guess, but the approach still remains the same. That irrespective of the jurisdiction, you need to align with what your business wants. What is the non-negotiables, as I earlier said, and what is something that you want to achieve out of this deal. So that's how I try to frame things.
Wow. Okay. Uh, the shift from law firms to in-house role. What mindset did you see when transitioning from law firms to in-house?
Uh, okay. Uh, so I see. Law firms I've been blessed to start with some very good law firms. Uh, and they have been, I would say, they have transformed me into a better lawyer as what I'm today. Uh, there are various perks, and I would say there is pros and cons at both sides. But the cons, I guess, everyone is aware of the cons. So there is no work-life balance. There's not something that you can talk about. There's no timing issue. There's you're working 24/7 in a law firm. So but that is something what I've understood as in once I've stepped into the hat of a legal counsel for companies, is that that has framed me to be available for the business at any given moment, because our business is basically works in various jurisdiction, so the time zones are different, so the legal need can happen at any given moment, right? So when I started my career with law firms, I had worked 24 hours. I've worked 48 hours straight in a law firm, showered there, had a breakfast there, had my coffee there. Uh, but that at that given moment, I was like, this is something that should not happen. I want to change, shift. But working on various matters and then having that ability to take up matters or individually, that has developed me to become an in-house counsel, which I'm right now hopefully executing very well.
Wow. Okay. Uh, let's talk about ye, carbon credits. For viewers out there, what is a carbon credit?
Okay, so let me give you a very easy example for everyone to understand. So how it works is that every person, irrespective of whatever he's doing, is generating carbon footprints, right?
Mhm.
Uh, and there is, and you're unaware of the fact because anything right now we are using our systems, we are using our lights, we are using electronics, everything is generating carbon. Now, this carbon emissions are going in the environment, destroying the environment, and the mission that comes along is that how do we set it off? How do we take it back into the take it back from the environment and save the environment? What should we do? So this is the tussle, and the mechanism that people have taken out of it is uh, like for example, I'll take the example of Indigo or any airline. So when you travel, you see that you have saved so and so CO2 emissions, right? There's a line which says, how do you save it? Because when you travel, so there is some third party which has been contracted by Indigo, which is doing a carbon neutralizing effort on behalf of Indigo. So if I say we as Marty Carbon, what we are doing is we are trying to uh, absorb the carbon emission from the environment, bud it in the nib inside the ground, and then we measure it and say that we have saved or we have absorbed so many tons of carbon. Now, what people do is, I would say, being an airline company, I would say I have so many tons of carbon emissions. I want to set it off. Now, Marty Carbon, what would they do is they say that we have already absorbed 1,000 tons of carbon. And I, as an airline, will say, okay, I have made an emission of 1,000 tons. So you give me those credits which you have absorbed, and I will set it off against my 1,000 carbon emissions, 1,000 tons of carbon emissions. And that way, as an airlines, I'm set off at zero. I'm at net zero now. So that is the basic beauty of carbon credits.
So it's like the FSI in the real estate.
Can be said that way, yeah.
So
So,
just for laymen, for viewers out there, because
yeah, yeah,
this is a new thing and it's very essential for climate
yeah,
change, for to
absolutely.
protecting our Mother Earth. And so now my next question,
Yeah.
Arjit, how how are the laws for carbon footprints, carbon credits, uh, evolved in India, and how should companies cater to having their contracts in place, especially the SME companies and the MNC. And then I'll go to the global part.
Yeah. So, right now in India, what we are seeing is the government is of the opinion that they want to achieve net zero. I guess the timeline is 2035, something like that, 35, 36. They want to be a very zero carbon neutral uh, country in itself. So, in order to achieve that, what they are strategizing right now is, and I'll just put it up front that there is no rules and regulation as of now for carbon credits. How you can sell it, how you can purchase it, how you can procure it. So these mechanisms are being right now built. So currently, what is happening is that there is an international. This particular carbon credit sector is very much booming in the international sector. It is happening there. India is currently trying to take input from what is happening and trying to build it around the jurisdiction of India. So we are trying to learn from them, but from a perspective, how companies can put up the contracts and how SMEs and MNCs can do it is basically it is a it is a sector which will gonna come up and boom, right? Everyone will want to set off their carbon credits, everyone, because the government going to mandate that very soon. Once the all the notifications are in place, companies will be mandated that disclose how many carbon emissions you are generating, because all MNCs right now, all SMEs right now are in big structures with huge generators, huge air conditions working. So there's a lot of carbon emissions which is right now going. So that declaration will be required, and then they will be mandated to reduce it, do a carbon neutralization activity. So they need to keep on start strategizing what activity they can have in place already, so that they are already neutralizing or setting off their carbon emissions. So right now, because there is no much of activities happening, it's an open space, so they can choose. But once this field gets crowded, people get to know about it, then it would be tough to find people who can set you off. So
Okay.
that's there.
So ESG compliance being, what do you say, MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs,
Yeah.
as come up with a compliance for the SMEs, for the companies to give their ESG compliances. And
Yeah.
now everyone is now becoming more serious about ESG.
Hmm.
So, how does ESG and carbon credits can come together and help uh, towards by India becomes what do you say working towards for the climate?
Uh, so see, ESG, climate. carbon neutralization, these are no more something which is like a, buzzword, or you haven't heard about it. It's a very much in the sector right now, and people are talking about it. But until unless, and it's a sad also that until unless the government comes up with something, it's not implemented. So people are not yet trying to achieve carbon neutralization, but only when it's mandated, then the company got to think about, okay, let's now start doing, because it's a mandate. Then the legal team gonna be scrutinizing what we can do, how we can do, compliances, everything. So uh, the whole way that we can look forward to, uh, in the climate, carbon, ESG, this is by being updated of the regulatory framework which is currently approaching these sectors, approaching these, probably the carbon sector, the ESG sector, and the climate sector. So because of the fact that you need to be aware of how the regulatory functions work. You need to be aware how the clauses gonna be mentioned in the contracts to be able to mention these things within the contracts and the agreements. So I guess you need to be flexible, but you need to be ready for what's coming for you in the future for the company as a legal counsel. Yeah.
Wow. So, what trends do you see for carbon credits in the next 5 years in the international market?
Oh, okay. So in the international markets, it's already uh, there are various certifying agencies which are currently working in the international sector. There is Vera, there is Frontier. So there is a lot of certification agencies which certify that, okay, these many carbon credits can be given to someone else. Now, this is something that India is also willing to, adopt and have in their system. So there are certifying agencies in India. Uh, it's easier for Indian companies to not approach these foreign certifying agencies and be in the nation. So it's a whole part of the Make in India concept that everything we are self-sufficient to do. We are not dependent on the international market. But from an international perspective, this has already evolved. These things are very common. And I tell you, so carbon credits capturing or carbon emission capturing is something can only be done in fields. It cannot be done in concrete jungles. So I would say Singapore, uh, from a perspective of New York. So these have very less land exposures. There's a lot of concrete everywhere. So if you want to absorb the carbon emission, you have to rely on uh, places and jurisdiction like India, where there is a lot of farming which is happening, which is a lot of farmlands which is there. African countries, so there is a lot of barren land there. So these are the countries that international market is right now dependent on to have their carbon emissions controlled. So that's where we are also moving ahead. India gonna soon open up their market to various US or international market companies to have come set off their carbon credits. So very soon, once the rules are there, we will be talking more about this.
Wow, beautiful. So, Arjit, who has influenced you from the legal world?
Uh, there are various big names, and I can give those big names, but until unless I've practically worked with them, I would not say that I have been greatly influenced. Of course, you see them on TV, you see them, you hear them argue, uh, but actually, who has influenced me is uh, the partners I've worked with and the leadership I've worked with in the law firms, and as an in-house counsel with the founders and the CEO of the company, because they have taught me what the business mindset is, and the partners have taught me what the client mindset is. So now I have a mix of both, so I can juggle between both the sectors.
Wow, that's beautiful. So that was you being influenced or being guided.
Yeah.
Now, your role to mentor, guide junior lawyers or interns within your organization, especially in an evolving legal ecosystem. How do you do that?
uh, so first thing first, that I never tell my juniors that you need to be an enabler to the business. You should not be considered as a bottleneck. because that is when everyone in the business starts saying, because and it's a fact that the legal team is not a business generator. It's basically an expense to the company. You are sitting and you're not bringing business, basically you're consuming the business. And but at the same time you are the to-go person in case of any issues, legal issues which has come up. So I always tell my juniors that it is always good to keep on asking questions. You ask me, you contradict me, I don't mind. Because when you contradict me, I might get better, my draft might get better. I might be seeing from a different eye, and you might see it from a different eye, and you might be good at it. And uh, I don't want to take. I don't want them to take the back seat. I always try to put them in client meetings. I try to put them in board meetings so that they're aware of what's happening in the business so they can take decision if I'm not there. Right. So you need to prepare your legal team for your professional demise, I would say. That's what the quote I've heard. You need to prepare your legal team for your professional demise because they should not be handicapped once you leave.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, so what, how is, see now, AI is everywhere. How is
Yeah.
AI impacting uh, in-house counsel corporate legal work?
See, AI, that's one discussion which is happening in the legal fraternity, and people are a bit scared also, I would say, and they are of the sense that this AI gonna make us lose our jobs. Clients not gonna come to us. They're gonna first have a approach from the Chat GPT, OpenAI, whatever it is, and then only the disputes and the litigation lawyers gonna have work because that's what not Chat GPT can do or AI can do. So, but what I understand is AI is can always be an enabler. It cannot replace you. So AI can always enable you with information. It can give you notes. It can give you uh, strategies. It can give you ideas. But implementation cannot be done practically by AI. So that's where you need the legal mind to do it, right? And I guess the fraternity is aware of it, but I guess the clients and the viewers basically should also understand that uh, AI is not something that one will be replaced with. Your work and a lawyer's work will start. You can have a heads up with AI, but of course, AI cannot replace you from a perspective. That's what I use AI. That's not I would not be shamed in saying that I don't use AI. Of course, it's an enabler and it gives me quick results. But at the same time, I don't rely on it completely and 100%. And I tell my juniors also, don't rely on AI 100%. Take your feedback, first note from there, and build up upon it. That's how
Wow.
AI helps you.
Wow. So my
Yeah.
last question for your professional journey around, Arjit,
Yeah.
what advice would you give to young lawyers who want to enter the evolving field of ESG, climate, and carbon credits?
Uh, so it's a good time to enter because just like data protection and data privacy, the law is evolving right now. So you don't have much of back-end precedents. You don't have much of disputes on this. You basically the rules and regulations are being framed. So right now you have the capacity and the capability to understand, know where it is coming from, what is the logic behind bringing some rule, and there is no precedent, so there's not much to study. To be very honest, for lawyers who are newcomers into the industry, they think that, oh shit, there's a lot of books to read, there's a lot of precedents to follow. But this is a sector wherein it is still booming. You have less to study, but at the same time, you have a lot to learn and you have a lot where you can experiment in it yourself. So yeah, that's I would like to say.
That's very good because they will be the what do you say, uh,
Torchbearer.
torch bearers, ये those who take that क्या बोलते हैं, big ये jump and be in
Yeah,
this exciting and evolving.
correct.
So those who
Correct.
take the first step, They will
Correct.
get a lot of opportunities and career growth paths, so many things. Like you will be, what do you say, get a lot of speaker opportunities through coffee. That I'm very sure.
I'm
Right.
sure because just like data privacy, now lawyers have started specializing in data privacy.
Yes.
I hope lawyers gonna start specializing in carbon sector,
Yeah.
ESGs,
And there
climate.
will be a lot of what do you say, special topics like data
Correct.
privacy, IPR. There are
Yeah.
conferences happening. So
Yeah.
now ESG, climate, and अपना carbon credit पे in
Yeah.
2 3 years there will be what do you say, conferences अपना ये ये panel discussions, so many things.
Yeah. I
So
hope we
much
have soon
written.
some panel discussion on the coffee channel as well.
Yeah, we're planning. Thank you for remembering.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go to the yeah, next round and
Yeah.
understand Arjit as a person. So tell us about your family and your formative years.
So basically, I belong from UP, Allahabad, now called Prayagraj. So, so that's there. My father is a journalist in a print media, and my mother is a teacher by profession. So they love living in Prayagraj only. They don't like Delhi. So that's there. And I've done my schooling from Prayagraj only. I spent till 2012, I was in Allahabad. Since uh, did my CLAD, came to Nirma University as my University of Law um, in Ahmedabad. So after I left in 2012, still I have started my career in Delhi. For 7.5 years now, I've been in Delhi, uh, continued to work here. So that's been the journey.
Wow. Okay. So my next question would be, why did you select Institute of Law Nirma University, and how has the experience been? Because this university, Nirma, is not what do you say,
One of the NLUs,
huh?
one of the national law universities. It is not
Okay.
one of the national law universities. And
Mhm.
plus, at the same time, it's not that renowned, I would say. Uh,
Uh, Not
that's
well
the,
known. Because I've done so
yeah,
many
well,
coffee. You must be the few ones who have studied over there. So
yeah.
let's promote Institute of Law, Nirma University through you.
Yeah, absolutely. I would be glad as an alumni to do that. Uh, but to be very honest, while a person in CLAT is applying for universities and doing CLAT, the focus is always towards that 10, 12, 14, 15 NLUs that are the highlights. And what law firms also tell you, if you're not from an NLU, you're not going to get into top tiers. And if you want the top tier law firms where the money is, you need to crack a NLU. So the mindset remains the same. I was also of the same mindset. I'm no special kid who was like, no, I want to go to Nirma. So my focus was NLUs. Of course, um, because of the CLAT ranking and everything. So NLU, which I was getting, was not something. It was a very far away NLU, and as a first time going to the college, parents were not very ready to send across. So
Okay.
at such a distance. So uh, then at this moment when CLAT was up, so Nirma University came into picture through advertisements. There was a lot of advertisement, Nirma University, Nirma University. Um, and it was Ahmedabad. So I don't have any relative, no relevance to Ahmedabad, Gujarat in any sense. I've not been there. But when I saw in advertisements, checked upon, saw the accreditations that it has, saw the courses that it has, basically saw the campus that it has. So felt like that, why not give it a try? It might be a good university in itself. And Nirma in itself was a name. And and I tell you, while I was researching about it, so Nirma University's MBA and tech is very popular. It's among the top five in India. So not from a law perspective, but Nirma University's Institute of Tech is is very reputed. They have very good credentials to them. So having said that, so Institute of Law was a newly created one. I thought that the tag gonna work up. And that's how I probably joined Nirma, and it's working for me.
Wow, that's good. Okay. Uh, so give a shout out for a law students ke why they should join Nirma University Institute of Law.
Okay. So Nirma University in itself is currently it has onboarded a lot of senior professors. They have one of the best criminal teachers there, criminal lawyers. I would say they are practicing lawyers also. And the best part about Nirma University is because they are in Ahmedabad, they have Gujarat High Court within a vicinity of like 10 minutes. So
Hmm.
practicality is that there are lawyers who come teach for part time as a special classes. So you will have the opportunity to go ahead and have the practical sense also to your bookish knowledge, I'd say. So that's a good advantage.
Wow, beautiful. Okay. If someone wants to visit Prayagraj,
Yeah,
Allahabad,
yeah.
uh, what places do you recommend to visit? And for food, what are your recommendations to have there?
Absolutely. Go to the Sangam. Visit Sangam. It's the only place where Sangam happens. No other place in the country there is wherein these three rivers meet. So it is one of the auspicious places in the Hindu culture. So do visit Sangam. It's a beautiful place. It has been developed by the UP government. It's now getting cleaner and cleaner, I would say, as it was. And do visit Anand Bhavan. Anand Bhavan is the residential place of the Nehrus. So the Nehrus used to stay there. And it's currently turned into a museum. But all the things and everything, their bedrooms, their dining rooms, everything is intact in the same way how it was when Pandit Nehru, Indira Gandhi, and everyone used to stay there. So these are some big places wherein you can be. And for food, I would say the most famous, and if you search online also you'll get it. So there is Netram, uh, very famous for its the local food of UP, which is kachori sabzi. Amazing, amazing. You should try it.
Wow. Okay. So, what's it hobby or interest which helps you to unwind and recharge?
Uh, I guess interest helps me unwind more. Um, because my interest is basically because I'm so tired up after so much of hassle with the legal aspect and everything. The the interest that I have is to lie down and do nothing. So that is the best unwinding that I have. And right now, what I do is if I have some 3 4 days of solitude and peace, so I try to go on a travel to some places where you don't have to do anything. You just have to relax. There's nothing to do. You have to just sit and unwind and get back to the hustle again.
Wow. So, what are your travel plans for 2025?
2025, halfway it's gone.
Yeah, yeah.
But of course, in October, I'll be celebrating my birthday, so probably planning something there. Again
Oh.
for peace and solitude. So that
Okay.
way.
So, enjoy your stay and
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, come recharged
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
carbon grid needs you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, what is a book or movie which has left a lasting impact on you?
Okay. I would say movie is one perspective which gives you a lot of idea how the courtroom works. So हमारे in our Bollywood there are various movies जो आपको ऐसा बताते हैं कि तारीख पे तारीख तारीख पे तारीख. That's not how the law works. So right now there are various movies which have come into picture which show you the real chaos in the courtroom, what happens. The one that came in was Pink, wherein Amitabh Bachchan was there. And it was a courtroom drama of supporting a rape victim and
Mm.
going against a rape suspect. So that is basically teaches you how the nuances around work. So it's not always the law that helps you. It's basically the common sense also that you need to apply in the courtroom. So that way.
Wow. So, if your friends had to describe you in three words, what would it be?
Friends, okay, that's tough. Something not to be said online, but I would say they would say friendly, supportive, and always available.
Wow. So, what's a childhood memory which brings, when you reflect back, brings a smile on your, brings smile?
Uh, the last time I was staying in Allahabad. So if I remember that, so that gives me a good smile and I'm good to go for the work again.
Wow, that's beautiful. So, my last one is a googly
Yeah.
one. Describe Arjit in one line.
Uh, Contract and corporate law expert trying to be a business enabler rather than a bottleneck.
Wow. So, let's put you in the hot seat, the rapid fire round, drafting or arguing in court.
Drafting.
Your go to comfort food,
Dal chawal.
midnight oil or early morning grind.
I'm a night person, midnight oil.
Your favorite color,
Green.
best piece of advice received,
Be a business enabler rather than a bottleneck.
your dream travel place,
Europe.
tea or coffee to recharge.
Coffee.
Selfless restraint. You did well.
Same here.
And here's your book, which will autograph and send to you.
Oh, absolutely. Love it. Thank you.
So, Arjit, this has been an insightful conversation. Your journey from courtrooms to carbon credits exemplifies what it means to be a modern legal professional, adaptable, strategic, and deeply human. You have given fresh perspective on navigating multi-jurisdictional challenges, aligning law with carbon credits, climate, ESG goals, maintaining balance amidst all lessons that resonate beyond the legal community. So, to all of viewers out there, and we want everyone to subscribe to the Coffee Corner Show, where there are 500 plus speakers sharing their professional, personal journey. Get inspired from them. Let's keep learning, evolving, and redefining what it means to lead in law and life. We look forward to welcoming you back with another thought-provoking session with another inspiring guest. So until then, stay curious, stay driven, and keep sipping that coffee with purpose. And we meet on Monday with another speaker having coffee conversations with coffee. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mr. Virani.
So take care.
Take care. Thank you.